Oh shoot. Gary got Instagram. Bust it down, Brown. Is it under Bust It Down, Brown? Hey, I thought I was about to have to postpone this. I just went through this crazy coughing spell that I hadn't been going through. Mm-hmm. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm in the car, so no intro music. Mm. Listen, it's still a road back, but I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. At any time, if I feel like this coughing is going to take control, I'm going to delete the whole live and start again another time. That's what I have decided. Because that was just bad. I had to leave out the restaurant I was in. Listen, I don't like being outside of the norm. I don't like not being able to do life accordingly how I want to do it. It's just like, that's the weirdest thing to me. So I don't like being sick because it makes me feel immobile. I better not what? It makes me feel like, I don't know. Being sick is not for me. So I have to really, really take care of myself. Hey, how you doing? I really have to take care of myself because it's for the birds, man. I don't like being able to move with you know what I mean? I don't like being made to be still in that sense. Not by sick. I'll be still if that's what I gotta do. But don't let it be because of sickness. Just tell me, Lord. You ain't got to get me sick, I promise you. I will sit myself down. uh, I mean, if I was out here coughing and sounding like I'm about to hack up half a lung, yes, I'm gonna delete it. I felt like I swallowed an ashtray of ashes. Oh, in that case, how do people smoke? Uh, but it was really funny this morning that you was talking about love because I was listening to this lady. Her name is Betty. Miss Betty. I met Betty years ago. Oh, some apartments. Let me look over here. At a conference in Houston, I think we were in. And man, she's a great woman. She's a little older than me, but an amazing soul. And we became friends on Facebook, so we do kind of stay in touch or whatever. And so I don't know if I could do all these woods though. But she was doing a live this morning. She was talking about kindness. And I was like, you know what? That's crazy because I really wanted to talk about that. And I always be like, it don't cost us anything to be kind. And then you were talking about the love piece this morning. And in the scripture where it says love is peace, love is kind. Like that was the point where I was like basically flowing from because I guess it takes a level of being able to love to operate in kindness. And maybe that's why some people don't understand how far kindness would take them. I think some people look at kindness as a weakness, but to me it's an asset to have. It's a tool that we can use for everyday life that will benefit us in the long run. Hey, watermelon. You know, your act of kindness could literally open a door to a blessing that you had no idea. Like those videos we talking about. Who knows what one small act of kindness may warrant you on the other end, such as Oh, I just wanted to see how you would treat me in a case like this. Here's $10,000. That's our number. We never know, but a lot of people don't even want to put forth the effort to put a little kindness out there. As cruel and hard as this world is, there's people who don't probably even think about kindness. And I think it's sad because, like, the world, kindness is needed. There's always that one person who's hanging on by a thread, and had you been a little kind, their life. We think it means nothing to people, but we never know what the next person is going through. Like when I said the first day when I was here, hey, just read my book. The first day when I was here, and I was like, it just seemed like everybody was being so kind to me. And I'm guessing that's something I needed because it made me feel really good. You know what I mean? It brought me a lot of joy that day. And I wasn't even in a bad way of feeling, but I noticed the difference in how I felt. It made me want to be kind. So I say that to say, are we leaving doors um that should be open closed due to the fact that we don't want to operate in a level of kindness? Are we that stubborn that we don't realize that blessings come by way of being kind? We see the kind gesture that people do when there's an old lady walking across the road and someone will come and grab her arm and help her get to the other side. We don't even see stuff like that anymore. People will literally pull out their phone and record and laugh at a situation like that now. I mean, if we could possibly go to hell in handbaskets, man, I'm pretty sure they are making mass production of handbaskets right now. Cause we be out here just doing the most. What if we all woke up one day and God gave us one rule for 24 hours? Be kind or it's over. Would you be able to muster up that kindness? Would it be that hard? I guess that's my thing. I'm trying to figure out. I guess because we live in a tick for tack type of world, then it's hard for us to give something we feel like we deserve back or we need to be getting back if we're giving it. And I don't believe that it's a give and take type of thing. I think it's a you thing. You know what you desire on this earth. You know what you're believing God for. You know what God expects of you. Yeah, we might know in general what he expects of all of us, but we are responsible for us. So when you decide, well, if they're kind to me, I'll be kind to them, what are you doing to yourself? If you're only doing it to get it in return, what are you doing to yourself? It's not my business to worry about the next person not being kind to me. And I think that's where we all are falling short. We're looking for reciprocity where it's not really required. It's up to the person. It's up to the individual person. I can't be unkind because you choose to be unkind. Because then that messes up my character, my good name. I can't choose to treat you bad because you want to treat people bad. Do I have to be around you? No. But that still doesn't mean I get to treat you any old kind of way just because you're that way. I know I'm not selling my soul for that. And it's easy to do because I guess it's human nature. You know what I mean? It's human nature. I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me. It says to treat people the way you would want to be treated. It doesn't say treat people the way they treat you. I feel like if I find myself in a struggle of treating someone the way that I would ask for them to treat me, then I got to do some self-check, because them not receiving is not the issue. The issue is mine not treating them the way I expect to be treated. Now, does that mean you got to kiss behind? No. Does that mean you got to go just be super nice to everybody? No, but there's a level of respect that we should have for ourselves, which in turn allows us not to disrespect others. There's a level of respect for yourself that knows that Even though I'm this way, it doesn't mean that they're going to return this. It doesn't mean they're going to be the same way. I'm not being kind because I want somebody to be kind to me. I'm being kind because that's the way I should be. I'm being kind because it's in my character that's going to be judged eventually. Whatever comes out of my heart is going to be judged eventually. So every time I decide to treat somebody the way they treated me and it was less than what I would want someone to treat me, then I'm moving backwards in a sense. Weakness is a scary concept, isn't it? Yeah, kindness is not weakness. Shoot. I think that we put too much into trying to get something in return for everything we're supposed to do. We are supposed to love. And it does not say, well, love them if they love you. And I think that a lot of people have it mixed up that if you say you love, that you're going to be cool with these people and you're going to be best friends even though they are tyrants or whatever. No, it just means you're not going to allow hate to overtake your heart because that person is that way. It's not to walk up to the person and say, girl, I love you even though you're a fool. You just got to keep a space in your heart that still operates in love no matter what. And that love may be a return of saying nothing to that person, a return of letting them be who they are, and not necessarily a response to what they aren't. Like at the end of the day, we're responsible for ourselves. And if I'm operating the same way other people are operating, let's say I wasn't kind because other people not kind. Well, ain't nobody else kind. I'm just going to be unkind. Who's the example at that point? And I think that's the problem. We don't want to be examples, but whether you want to be or not, you are. If we're supposed to be showing others how it is, who's going to be the one who's on display that shows the person that it's not supposed to be this way? Who's going to be the one that literally allows their heart to be open to be used for the world? I would like to be that person, and it's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not sitting here talking like, oh, I'm just so perfect and I'm just so kind overwhelmingly all the time. No, I have unkind moments, but I don't have them without thinking about it after the fact. I don't have them without having a self moment, I guess, be accountable for my actions. Maybe that person didn't deserve kindness, but that doesn't mean I need to be unkind. That's just the bottom line. And it is probably easier said than done, but I think it's worth working on for the simple fact, we'll say all the time, well, God know my heart. Every time you're unkind, he know you were being unkind from your heart. It wasn't just because, well, he know I'm trying and I'm going to get better. It ain't that. It ain't that. I say it all the time. We don't know our heart. It's stuff in our heart that we don't even think is wrong right now, I believe. That's why we're supposed to ask to renew our heart and mind daily. Every day there's a new thing we face that can turn our heart. Every day. It's not like you wake up one day and everything's perfect and just peachy and nothing's going to go wrong. Hey, Rachel. No, it's a daily fight to be a certain way. To me, I do have to fight daily to be kind, especially when you can look and see somebody literally being a certain way to you. You know how hard it is not to turn into the person that's offending you? Because I know that if I allow the spirit of offense into my heart, it's going to hurt me more than it hurts them. And that's a thing, And I think I got into the wrong lane. It's a Starbucks up here. Yep, I sure did. I'm supposed to be going to the right. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of reasons why we can't treat people the way they treat us. And mainly it's because of the things we don't want to allow into our hearts. It's not, well, he isn't kind to me, so I'm gonna be unkind. No, it's I've allowed the spirit of offense. I've opened the door to that. The moment I return what they give, I've now opened the door for offense to come in. And offense come by way of pride. If you got pride issues, more than likely you're gonna be the one who's treating people the way they treat you and not treating people the way you want to be treated. And pride is easy to be in. It's easy to fall into that pride trap. But a lot of people don't realize those are spirits we deal with. And most of them are by way of us opening the door to allow them. We allow those things to overtake us. Is you gonna let me over, Elsie? Oh, boy, you too old to be trying to do the phone and driving at the same time now. Walter, 1WRS, Virginia's for lovers. Yeah, we open the door, and like I said, it's not by any means is it an easy task to it's not easy at all. A lot of people take that turn the other cheek thing so literal to the point they think it means, well, you can smack me and I'm gonna turn the other cheek. I'm not gonna smack you back. I'm just gonna turn the other cheek. Hell no, that's not what that means. Well, heck no. Because I don't think I should use that word in the same sense with that. But anyway, y'all know what I mean. That's not what that means. One side is your flesh and one side is your spirit. Somebody hit you, I'm gonna say you better hit them back, because that first hit might take you out, man. I ain't lying. I ain't got road rage. I'm just trying to understand why this 78-year-old man is trying to talk in his phone and all that good stuff. I ain't cuss him out. Did I go the right way? Well, it don't matter. I'm on the street that I know I'll get back to where I'm going. I don't even know where I'm going. That's the funny thing. I'm just driving. I just left a breakfast spot. Had a good breakfast. I'm like, if I don't do anything, I'm going to get out for a few hours today. See if I can't make me a couple dollars and then, go back and continue to rest. Continue to rest. I don't have road rage. I really don't. But I was really confused by the age of that man. Just one more bar and grill. I like to name that. But yeah, man, I think that it's a good time to examine yourselves. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might end up on Jericho because I don't know where I'm at, and I'll be going in the same places. Yeah, so it's a good time to examine your heart. If you really believe truly 100% God knows your heart, it might be time to examine and find out what should and should not be there. Because I guarantee you, something that ain't supposed to be there is most likely there. Because none of us is perfect. And I think it's for us to do better. You know what I mean? Not for us to get perfect, but for us to do better. If you know you have these faults inside of you, then you need to try to do better. Blessings don't come by evil. Blessings don't come by you being a negative person or a vindictive person or a spiteful person. It comes from a good heart. And a lot of us get blessed by grace only because God loves us. It ain't that we don't have certain things going on. It's not that we've been the best saint or whatever you want to call it. It's because he loves us and he gives us grace, But I personally, I don't want to always be like, woo, thank you for God's grace, when I know I done jacked up. I don't want to be her. I'd rather be the one that he says, oh my goodness, she done tried so hard. Bless her heart. I didn't use him as a crutch or an excuse. I tried. I try. I try to be genuinely kind to people. Maybe that's something people don't like, Who's that kind? You might hear people say that ain't nobody that nice. Ain't nobody that kind. Yes, they are. There's a lot of nice and kind people out here. Y'all know, I think I'm about to be right by my house. If I land by my house, I'm going to know something. And in that case, I'm not going to Jericho unless it's coming up. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said, I just really wanted us to really examine and think about kindness, and do we honestly put forth an effort to be kind, or do we just wait for people to act and then we react to how they act? Are we here just to give them what they give us? Because I don't want to be like nobody else. I want to be who God created me to be. No, and if I'm a genuinely kind person, I'd rather operate in that than to bow down and allow myself to act a certain way because everyone around me is going mad. I don't see how being unkind will help me. Right now I need doors to be open. If I walk around here tight lip and being just any kind of way with a effed up attitude, what do I get in return? Nothing of what I expect. Not me. Some people don't expect much. But I expect greatness for my life. I expect doors to open that I didn't know were there to open. I expect to meet people that can help me elevate to the next level. I expect to meet people that see my kindness and want to help me. I expect this to be the next part of my life that's greater than the last part. If I'm expecting those things, I cannot by any means act less than what I'm expecting. So it's not about how the next person is acting. It's based on what you think you're supposed to be. Let me see. It's based on what you think you're supposed to be getting from life, in a sense. If you think you're supposed to be getting all these things that are good, then how do you think you're going to get it if you're not good? And like I said, no one's perfect. I'm not asking us to be perfect. I'm asking us to try to be better at what we already know that we should be doing and not be so into what the next man is doing that we miss it. I think that's what happens. We miss it because we're so focused on what they are doing over there. Well, he did this and he didn't do that, so I'm not doing that. What if it was you were supposed to do that and not him or them, and you didn't do it because of them? Did they win at that point? People gonna people all day long, but it's up to you what kind of person you want to be. Like I said, you could be whatever, however you want to be, but these are just my thoughts, and I figure I would share with you guys. Because some of you might feel the same way, some of you might not ever thought that way. Because I know it is definitely a struggle to be kind in a lot of instances. And sometimes kindness might be ignoring a person. You know what I mean? It don't have to be that old mushy, oh, you're so great. I love you. That's not necessarily kindness. Kindness may be that moment when you know you would have whooped on that person and you didn't. I did you a level of kindness at that point. I didn't slap the piss out of you. I don't know if I should have said that either, but it came to mind, so I said it. It's all about what you want for yourself. A lot of things I believe we have to work hard for, and some things I think are ours by way of how our heart moves. Dirty heart, you get a dirty return. Good heart, things will be all right. And we can't look at it like, oh, I got a good heart. I don't know why this keep happening to me. And then decide one day, well, it ain't never got me nowhere else. I'm not going to have this good heart anymore. We can't change or waver away. I think we were saying that on Gary's thing this morning. How can we say we love God and we don't love other people? And if love requires us to be kind, how can we love God and not be kind? Like I say, y'all might be, for some people, they'll say, oh, you're going too deep. No, I'm not going deep. I'm being realistic about it. Because I'm looking at it further than just a smiley face and being over extra. I'm not talking about the fake kindness. I'm talking about the kindness that allows you to allow a person to be who they are, even if you expected more of them, and be okay with that, versus start treating them bad because they're not acting the way you think they should or you thought they would. It's a maturity in kindness. I believe when you reach a certain maturity level and you start to see kindness for what it really is, it's not that hard. Like I said, your kindness may be not to slap fire out that person. Well done. Especially if you knew 5 years ago you'd been to choke somebody out. Kindness is not that hard. It's just choosing not to become evil because someone else is evil. And there's a lot of evil in this world that could easily turn us, but I think that's all the more reason why we have to really be, I guess, vigilant in the matter and pay attention to those little things that will cause us to be a certain way when we ordinarily wouldn't be. Oh, this is the apple beans. Okay. Yeah, when you ordinarily wouldn't be. I think that anything comes and changes your character, then something's wrong. This is humbleness more than kindness. Mm, I think it's both. I think it's both. It just depends on how you interpret kindness in a sense. You know, I may interpret humble different. I don't think it's humble to ignore the way somebody treats you. Because I also think that even through kindness or being humble, there's a way you can respond to some disrespect, but it still should not match the disrespect. But we tend to believe that humble means say nothing, do nothing, just like kindness. You got to be humble. You can't say nothing. Don't do that. That's a cock of, I don't even know what to call it. That's a crock of shat. If that's the case, then you're supposed to just lay down and take anything and take and allow whatever to happen to you. And that is definitely not what I'm saying, because I ain't her and ain't gonna never be her. Now, will I ignore you all the way to wherever you going? Sure. But that don't mean that I can't speak up. I think that falls with our boldness. But I just think that everything doesn't deserve a response or a reaction. And if it does, it needs a response and not a reaction, because the reaction is what gets us in trouble. But I don't think people think that far into being kind. A kind gesture. I like your dress. That's kind. Ooh, I got to get some gas. I love the way your hair is today. That's kind. People don't even want to do that, man. And then we'll be at home like, people don't even say they like anything. They just stare you up and down. I don't know. Maybe I'm just confused with the world. Yeah, you could be kind and humble and firm. That's what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting we be punks out here. Cause a kind person, yeah, man, I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, I'm not suggesting we just be weak and no spine or nothing like that. But I think I'm more on not becoming what we dislike. I don't like to see people out here just being hateful and mean for no good reason, and I definitely don't want to become that just because I'm witnessing it or I'm trying to give it back to somebody. Because in turn, that hurts you in the long run. Now, if you're getting bullied, it's a way. You got to get them together. It's called defend yourself. That's the thing. Being unkind is not defending yourself. That's just you being mean for no good reason. You defend yourself. And a lot of people don't think you're supposed to even do that. I've seen people say, I'll use Christianity for belief. People think that because people are believers of Christ, that they're not supposed to defend themselves. They're supposed to just let it. That's what I say. People have stuff all messed up. They're supposed to just let it roll off their back because you said you love God, so you can't let. You have to let people treat you any kind of way. You can't clap back. Oh no, if you say that, you don't love God for real. You're a Christian. I don't know why they do us like that, but I want y'all to know today, you can get beat up by a Christian. I'm sorry, you really can't. That was funny. I'm sorry. I had to say it, but you can. But then we stand up for ourselves. Oh, she said she's a Christian. She loved God and she hit me. I sure did. I'm sorry. The only person I got to apologize to at this point is him. Let me quit playing. But I'm serious though. Man, it's so many weapons that people use against people out here, not just in religion, but just overall, Oh, she a punk. Ain't nobody that nice. Oh, she this ain't no. And then we'll be looking at certain people and be wondering, man, what is it that she does that she, since we have this huge sense of comparison out here, a lot of people will compare the next person to themselves and wonder, why can't that be me? Why do they have this and I don't? I feel like it's two sides to that. Sometimes people have things and they're the most evil person because I think the other person blesses people as well. But at the same time, maybe they're kind. Maybe they do have a heart that gives. Maybe they do have a heart that cares, that doesn't react to every single thing a person does, that does not conform to the next man because they treated them that way. I try not to fight. I don't like fighting because it really hurts me because I don't be feeling like it. Number one, I'm old. I'm too old to be fighting. But then I can't let you hit me first, so that's always a bummer. It just never works for me. And then I'm old as heck. I'm like, it's gonna be a 50-50 draw. I ain't trying to get beat up out here. But I'm gonna hit you first. Regardless. You're gonna be like, boy, that first slap before I beat her to the ground was woo fire. I heard my life ring over my head. I'm just not a fighting person. I really ain't. I'll defend myself. And yes, defending myself, I mean I'll hit you first because I promise y'all, after that first hit that one time, I was in the 9th grade? If I was in the 9th grade and I'm 50 now, that means no one ever walked up on me and hit me again after that. I ain't had that many fights, but that day I learned that lesson. If you think they're gonna hit you, strike. I don't know. I think I'll be thinking about things like a lot of us think it's but they say faith without works is dead. Then you hear them say your good works won't get you in. It's what's in your heart. So no, we can't sit here and do nothing, expect anything. And we also can't have things in our heart. It'll be the things in your heart that'll have you messed up over somebody you think is the worst person in the world. All because you really truly didn't know your heart. So I think it is important to work on those things, your kindness, your love, your patience, all the fruits of the spirit. Like I said, I don't know if any of us will get all at the same time. Some of us maybe. But those are the things that we should be trying to display. It's too easy to fall. I mean, to me, it's just too easy to operate in the fruits of the spirit than it is to be just cruel, mean, and angry all the time. Hey, double double. I think it's easier to operate in the fruits of the spirit than to be mean and angry all the time. It just takes too much energy. I think it's easier to operate in peace. I think the hardest one of the fruits will be self-control. Because it's easy for people to push your buttons. It's easy for us to lose control in all things, not just against people. It's easy to go out and decide I'm going to go out for a happy hour. I'm going to get me 2 drinks. Next thing you know, you done had 7. That would be a self-control thing. I'm not going to spend over this amount when I go out. But then you turn around and spend $900 versus 100. Self-control. I think people cheat because they have a lack of self-control. We was talking about that this morning. Here, the moment you know you do something that you know you're not supposed to, you just didn't have that self-control. Hey, realist, I would say that. The moment we do something we know we were not supposed to, we did not have self-control. And that's the grown-up way of looking at things. You know, we can make all the different excuses for why we did what we did when we knew we weren't supposed to. You just didn't have self-control. You made a choice, and you stuck to it. That's the grown-up way of looking at things. When you mess up, I did that. I made a decision. No one forced me. I just didn't have no control over myself, and I did it. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the best way to be. Own your stuff. If you out here being unkind, be like, I don't want to be kind, and I'm not going to be. That's your business. But I know for me, one who will never be God, but who's made in his likeness and image, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to at least seem like I came from the bloodline. I do not want to look like I came out of Lucy's camp because people around me. I really don't. I think now I think about a lot of this stuff. Not just because of age, but, you know, people are here today, gone tomorrow. Our family members. A lot of us have lost a lot of family within the last year to 5 years ago. And that's recent. You know, it's still fresh. You know, I think about people that, like my cousin that passed last year from a drug overdose. I think about what a person would have, like, what did he think? You know, if he could, what did he think in that moment? Like, man, I wish I had a. I don't really want to be that person to not have tried or did something that I thought I was supposed to do, and then not be able to live anymore, to be gone. You know what I mean? Life run out just like that. I don't want to keep waking up every day and be like, I'll get better at tomorrow. Shoot, I'll do it. I'll be kind next time. I don't want to be like that because we don't know if we got next time, and especially since you don't know what's in your heart. You know, you be up there like, well, I did all this good stuff, Lord. I gave to the community. I was out here serving at the Waffle House, passing out food, and I held the door open for the lady. I did all these things, and he gonna point out that one day you was walking down the street, and there was a little lady. No, matter of fact, he gonna point out the time your cousin came in the room that always treat you like crap, and you started treating them like crap. Well, you remember this in your heart right here. You remember you did this. Remember I told you to forgive them for that. It's gonna be that unforgiveness that you don't realize is there. That you think if you do, that's gonna let them off the hook, when it's really letting you off the hook. It's gonna be that little piece of hate that's in there because the world made you look at people a certain way. It's gonna be that little bit of pride that wouldn't let you be nice to that person because they didn't look like you. It's gonna be the littlest thing to you. You know, to us it seemed like, oh, that was just one day I wasn't nice. But that's huge in your heart. That's less light. The more of those things we keep in our heart, that's less light. That's less light that we have to give. And the more that we consume of these things, that's dimmer our light becomes. Is it going to go away? No, because we know God. We love God. But by any means, we should not be trying to dim our light. We should be trying to do things that magnify the light. Our life is on display every day. We get a chance every day to shine light. And a lot of times we lose. We use to our human nature. Like I said, I'm not saying this because I'm perfect and I got it all together. Just my thought process in a moment. If we had to look at ourselves and be like, I'm lacking in this area. I wonder why. And you had to examine, you know, how you've been acting in the last 30 to 90 days. Did I treat people the way I wanted to be treated, or did I treat them the way they treated me? And definitely not saying when you treat them the way that you want to be treated, that you're supposed to allow them to treat you any kind of way. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you're not supposed to in turn act like them. When people don't treat you the way you want to be treated, you got to move around. You don't just keep on giving and giving and giving to somebody who doesn't receive. You don't go above and beyond for someone who gives you their tail to kiss every time. That just means that you can't be around you can't be around that person. Why you want to be around somebody who would cause you to turn a certain way because of their action? Once again, it ain't letting them off the hook. That's really, I don't fool with you. I don't fool with you. And you ain't got to. But you don't have to become that person not to fool with them. So I just don't understand it. If you don't fool with a person, just don't fool with them. But don't become the character whatever you dislike about them, don't become it not to fool with them. Yeah, I mean, things are going to come that will try to block your light. Light is light. But I do believe what we consume affects your light. You know, it's like you can have this light, but if you're over here doing things that look like the dark, how do a person know what the difference? You don't. Of course, it's going to be things that try to block it. That's even more important why we should be kind, why we should be certain ways in certain situations. Because there's so many things that will try to block your light. That's darkness. That's darkness's job to diminish and try to destroy light. And a lot of people have allowed their light to be destroyed. And I pray not beyond repair, but I think some people are beyond repair. I think we all have room for redemption for anything that we do. Once we realize it and we want to get it right, but some people don't care. And those are the people too that we have to move around. No matter how much light you shine into this hole right here, ain't nothing gonna happen. Only person that can help that person is God himself. Pretty much. That's why I always say I think we all have a people that we are called to. We have a people that benefit from us. Some we know, some we don't. But it's what is your reflection in any given moment? What are you giving off? Like I said, I was at the bar the other night and the man said, I look like I read the Bible. I'm looking like, boy, if you only knew. And my friend like, that's her. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but no. But I do love God. Maybe that's what you see. I love God. And can't nobody change it. Can't nobody take that away from me. Ain't nobody gonna make me see any differently. My mind made up on that. That's why I put forth every effort that I can to be the kind of person that I know he designed me to be. He didn't design me to be out here hating anybody. He didn't design me to be out here being mean. He didn't design me to be out here giving myself away to the world. He didn't design me to just lay down and do nothing in this world. And that's why I always tell people, Gary, that, people like, once again, Oh, you Christian and you go to happy hour? Yes, I do. God ain't told me to stay out the bar. He didn't. I go anywhere that God don't want me to go. Guess what happened? I get a check in my spirit. And out of all the years I've been going out, I've never ever heard a command to stay out of any kind of bar. Cause guess what? When I be in the bar, I be having them deep conversation with them people. Please, what y'all think? He stand outside? Huh? Think he be like, well, you go in the bar. I'm gonna wait out here for you, Meek. How you know he ain't sending you in there? Why you trying to control everything? Good morning, Tracy. That's one thing I have always said for the last, I'll say, since 2007. Before that, I would try to stop doing things because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought I wasn't supposed to go out. I thought I wasn't supposed to do all these things that I was trying my hardest not to do, but it wasn't nothing working. Even sex, I was trying not to have sex because I'm not supposed to. And it was like, man, the moment I stopped trying, those things kind of became like, next thing you know, I wasn't going out. I'm like, hold up. I ain't even thought about going out. Now, sex thing was a little bit harder, but I'm just saying, when he wants you to stop, you will stop. You will stop. I remember my shop was situated. My last salon was situated between a bar and a church. Literally, the bar was on the corner, my shop, then the church. And when I first came over there, I met the pastor. I walked up in that church and I was like, oh, okay. I know God being here because I was like, I had the chills. And it was funny because one day I was in there painting. One of the times I did have a little help. The guy was in there and the pastor walked in, was telling us he had hot dogs and stuff if we wanted some. And I felt it, but I was just trying to see something. And the dude was like, did it just get cold in here? I'm like, no, that's Pastor Mark. So I know I wasn't tripping on that. But I also would go to the bar. My friend went in there one day with me like, do I need to pull out my video camera? They got these flags all around here. Girl, these people, first of all, I'm not going to take you anywhere that ain't safe. Number two, they like me. These people help me. I done been in there and the people from the church would come in and be basically giving out their food, hot dogs and things. Low key lightweight minister, not being forceful or anything else to the people. And I would watch the bar owner shrink into a corner and be looking like all hellfire was coming off of her, but she couldn't move and couldn't do nothing. So that's why I say I would never. Unless God Himself come down and be like, me, I don't want you. Don't go to the bar because you never know who you're gonna run into. It could be a person at the bar contemplating suicide, and one conversation with you changes that person's life. What if you wasn't there? And I don't look that deep into things. I don't think those things make us imperfect, and I don't think those things make us love God less. I think that how we carry ourselves in those situations. I'm not saying we supposed to go out and be getting all jacked up and driving drunk and all those foolish things we do, but it's a way we do everything. But can y'all still hear me? Cause my screen look weird to me. I see Tracy. She said Vegas in the house. Ooh, ooh. But yeah, man. I just think that kindness goes a long way. My number disappeared at the top, so it's like it don't have a zero or nothing up there. Our character, our character goes a long way. And I think that when we begin to have better character, operate more in the fruits of the spirit, be the best we can, since we'll never be perfect, be the best that you can, then the things that we have need of will come. That's why I say a little kindness can open huge doors. Just a little. A little love can break some chains. But I don't think we realize that we can do that. I don't think that we realize, like, we are powerful people, but we use our power wrong. A lot of us, not all of us, a lot of us. A lot of people don't realize they have this power and they don't use it, or a lot of people do realize it and they overuse it, which would be a case of why, let's say, you go to somebody's church and they say something that's offensive to you and they use it as a preaching tool. You imagine how many people shrink down, or as we see in this world, I ain't never going to church again. All because someone who had power and they used that to stand on a stage and humiliate people when it's probably them dealing with everything that they pointing out about that person. So it's not church, it's people in some of these churches. And people include pastors. It does not make them exempt. Doesn't make them exempt. Just because a person pastor don't mean they all right. It's some people out here that's in the streets doing all types of things that are more pastor than some pastors in church. So it don't really have anything to do with a building. But at the end of the day, it goes a long way how you treat people and how you act before others. Like I said, we grew up in this whole thing of I don't care what nobody think about me. And I come to my own conclusion that I do care. Now, if you dislike me for no reason, I don't care. It's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna break my heart. I don't mean the little silliness. I mean, like I said, okay, you use the guy at the bar, for example. I cared about what he said because it made me feel like, okay, he sees something good on me. I like that. That's what I hope others see when they see me. Maybe he couldn't articulate it the way he said it the way he saw it. Maybe I'm supposed to be reading my word more. I'm pretty sure it's something to it. But I believe he saw God. And that's how I think we all should, when we look at each other, we should see God. We are all his creation. We are all miracles. Every morning we wake up, boom, miracle. So when we walk in, we do need to be mindful if we frown and for nothing when we got so much to be happy about. No, I'm not saying you gotta be walking around smiling like a damn chessy cat. It don't happen. But do you know your countenance, it counts for a lot? It says you're either approachable or unapproachable. I've had people to tell me they saw my countenance change, and I had to look up the word countenance at that time. But you know when my countenance changed? When I was very much decided that I love God more than anything. I don't care how much I fail, how much I fall short, I love God more than anything. And the more I love God, the more my countenance changed. The more I didn't look like, I guess I was tired. The more I didn't look like I was confused or like I didn't know my way. I believe that loving God gives you that confidence. It shines from the inside out versus us trying to put on this facade to look a certain way before others to convince people. There's no convincing. When your countenance change, you don't have to have a smile on your face for a person to see it. I believe your posture changes. I think everything just changes and you don't realize it until people start pointing it out. When my baby told me one day, well, she didn't tell me. She wrote it on a Facebook page for Mother's Day. Or was it my birthday? I don't know. It was one of them days. Said, happy birthday. Yeah, it was happy birthday. Happy birthday to my mom. Not only is she a bomb, I love the woman she is and the woman she's becoming. Psh, let me tell you, when my kids can see my change without me saying, hey, look at me, I'm changing, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? You're doing good. There's little things like that. That's why I said I care how people see me. I care what people think. for me, it's not enough just to be, you know. It's so much I want for my life that I know by my own strength I can't do. So the only other thing I can do is try to live the best I can so that God opens those doors and drops those blessings in for the things that I'm hoping for. I can only do and get what I can. I think that he blesses us with those bonuses because we do as much as we can. And then allow him to step in and do what we can't. I believe that with all my heart. If you do absolutely nothing, I believe he'll wait until you decide to do something. Because there's always something we can do. Even if that means fall to the ground and say, help me. You did something. I really hate that my timer has disappeared on this thing. What happened? I don't like that. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Because I don't see no kind of the little eyeball and then the number that be up there. Oh, that stuff just left. But on this here day, I decided to get out the bed. Although I'm not 100%, I don't feel like I'm going to get all the way 100% by just sitting there. I'm not going to overexert myself on this day, but, you know, I'm new here. I have to make a living. So I had to get out and get some money. I won't be out all night like I normally do. And I'm not going to overexert myself either. You know what I mean? That's why I started off with a good breakfast. Then I came on here, just talked to y'all for a little while. And then when I started doing, I don't know what I can't tell if I just want to deliver food or do I want to shop. I'm in a parking lot now though. Yeah, I'm driving, Gary. I pulled over because I gotta get gas. But I can't say I felt better today than I have in many. And that kindness thing was on my heart, so I had to get it out. And y'all know what that means. When I come to the end of my words, we can talk. But that's all I got to say about that. Y'all better start being kind. So some of these doors can't open. You be sitting there talking about, oh Lord, why it won't happen? Why it ain't happen? You been mean for 3 days in a row. Be kind 3 days in a row and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Shoot, I need to be as kind as possible around here. I need to meet me somebody that own property and be like, oh, I'll let you live there for 2 months free. I believe that can happen too. That's just the way my faith set up. Some people wouldn't believe like that, but I do. That's why I say I'm gonna talk to people every day. People are doors. I mean, yeah, people are doors. People are doors, and conversations are keys. No one unlocks the door without a key. Well, God, he can just bust them down and take them off the hinges, as Gary would say. No. There's a part. We say that conversation isn't a physical key, but it's definitely a door opener. Man, my nose red. Definitely a door opener. One introduction to somebody, you never know what's on people's heart. And that's why I'm like, man, if we could just get this kindness piece, I'm going to get it. Because I want to be kind. I don't really have time to be much else other than kind. I ain't stupid, but I would love to be kind to a lot of people. I told you I want to be that kind of giver to just be like, what in the world? I can't believe she just did that. And I believe I'm going to see that before my time is up. Because I truly desire that. Only way I'm going to get that is to operate the way I need to be operating to the best of my ability. I really do. Gary, how long I've been on here, you know? Because like I said, it took away my time clock and everything. That's just weird. I can't see anything. Oh my goodness. I think I got tired just that quick. But I can't go in the house right now. I gotta stay out at least 3 more hours. Give myself to 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock is a good time. Who knows? 4 might turn to 5, but definitely 4 o'clock. Because I gotta get started. But like I said, it's weird talking without this clock on. Oh, never mind. I know how long I've been on here. It's on my dash. Okay. Yeah, so I wonder why you did that though. That's weird. Whew, it's hot. I got on the air too. That's how I know I ain't 100% better. Because I should not be hot right now by any means. Oh, look at my favorite hotel, the Westin. Y'all want to see it? So I want to be way up. I love this hotel. Had to turn that off my face. I'm looking crusty right now. I love that hotel, man. I love any hotel I could be on like a high floor and just look out over the city. Because I feel like that's the capacity that I can reach. Look all out and just see a whole lot. There's a couple apartments over there that I wanted to live in, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I would love to just walk outside and go to Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory or Ruth Chris. That's really how my heart's set up. I just want to live like, well, I don't have to leave if I don't want to. I ain't got to go out my neighborhood. The furthest I have to go for anything I need is across the street. That's perfect. Perfect. And if I wanted to go hang out, I can hang out right outside pretty much. That'd be super dope. But I gotta get the money rolling in before I can be living over there. I'm just waiting on Gary to be like, you ain't got no faith of a mustard seed. Yeah, but nevertheless, I guess I will end right now. I surely feel better than I did last night. My goodness. Because that was a time trying to talk. Everything was in my nose. Like I was talking straight out my nose. That was so weird. Much better now. So I thank you all for coming through for my Meek talk. All that you that came through, all that may view the replay. As always, you are more than welcome to hit the cash app. But that is not most important over here. Most important for us is to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Hopefully, I said something today that resonates with you, that causes you to even think, if nothing else, take into account that we are all striving to be or striving to go, and we don't have to fall short off of little things. You know what I'm saying? So I would say try to insert some kindness today and tomorrow and the next day. A little kindness goes a long way. And take baby steps if you have to. Maybe today you'll be kind to one person, today it might be two, and so on and so forth. And you'll see how good it feels. It's not about the next person, it's about you. It's about how you feel on the inside in which you pour out. And we take in so much negativity. We want to make sure that we're not pouring out negativity because that's what we've grown accustomed to. I can't become my negative counterpoint just because I'm sitting here listening or watching or seeing, you know. So I think that we all can stand to do better, including myself. And yeah, that's it. That's my time. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye now.